Hello, good day, and welcome to Punchline. We are First News Nation. On Punchline, we discuss national politics. We'd like to use this opportunity as much as we can to say thank you to those of you who have been watching our programs, those of you who have been commenting, and those of you who have gone ahead to follow us on all our social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or should we call it Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube, like you see here, and increasing the most time with us by enabling notifications on all these platforms. So every time we have a new episode, you're always the first to know. Thank you very much for keeping faith with Punchline. We bring you the stories as fast as we can and as concise as we can. I am Sammy Ajufo. Let's go for a short break. We're going to talk about cars and money. Welcome back. It's still Punchline, and we are First News Nation. Thank you for joining us today, and it's a very busy day. If you're listening to the sound of cars going around, you know that everyone is in a hurry to get to where they want to get to. But let's go into the story. As we're talking about it, funny enough, it's about cars and money. A National Assembly talking about the fact that Nigerians have complained again that the National Assembly will be spending money on cars, and everyone is a bit worried about what's going on. But I'm here to give you some, research we've done, because every 4 to 8 years, the National Assembly will always buy vehicles for its members. And this time around, and for every 4 years or 8 years, Nigerians always complain that the economy is hard, that the lawmakers are insensitive, they are not doing anything about it. However, many of those who are complaining yesterday have become lawmakers today. Many of those who are complaining about the monies have become supporters of lawmakers today. Let's take you back in the year 2011. Let's go back to 2011, okay? We're talking about the last 12 years. How much has been spent by lawmakers to buy cars? How much has been spent by lawmakers to buy cars? According to latest research, 53.7 billion naira has been spent in the last 12 years to buy cars. Now, we want to ask this question. I want to ask this question to Nigerians watching out there. Is the problem the fact that lawmakers are buying cars, or maybe the type of cars they're buying, or the cost of the cars they're buying? I'm asking that question because the complaints always come every 4 to 8 years. It would keep going on and on. For many of you who don't know, the National Assembly has its own budget. They are not taking this money from the federal budget. They're taking this money from the budget that has been allocated to the National Assembly. So every time the National Assembly draws up a budget, they will take part of this money to buy vehicles. And some of them call it operational vehicles. If you work in an operational environment, you know that for certain kinds of tasks, they will always assign vehicles to you. So my question is the fact that the lawmakers are being assigned cars a problem? Or is it the kind of car that's a problem? Or is it the amount of money spent on those cars? Now, there's something a lot of Nigerians also forget, that we never query the budget of the National Assembly as much as we query the budget of the executive. What we always query is the executive. We leave the legislature, we leave the judiciary, and we just go around the national. Why is Aso Rock spending so and so billion on this? Why are they spending this on travel allowance? But no one really puts their eyes on the National Assembly budget. Or is the budget not in the public space? If it is not, then that's a conversation I believe a lot of people should have. Let's look at what has happened so far in the last 12 years, from the 7th Assembly all the way down to the 10th Assembly, which we have today. Let's go for a short break. When we get back, we'll talk about this. For every 4 years, for every 8 years, how much has been spent on purchase of cars? We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's talk about the dispensations and the amount of cars and the monies that have been spent. The number of lawmakers have not changed since the year 1999. We have 109 senators and 360 members of the Green Chamber, the House of Representatives. So how do we calculate this? From the year 2011, the Senate President was David Mark, and they expended 3.5 billion naira for serving lawmakers. That's what happened in the year 2011 to 2015. Okay, so that's the 7th Assembly. From 2015 to 2019, we had the Senate President Bukola Saraki, and the figure rose from 3.5 billion to 4.7 billion naira to purchase cars. 3.5 billion to 4.7 billion naira to purchase cars. Now, in the 9th Assembly, which was led by Ahmed Lawan, it moved from that 4.7 billion to 5.5 billion, 800 million naira increase between 2019 to 2023. This is the 10th Assembly, led by Godswill Akpabio. And here's a staggering figure. Same number of people, okay? Different lawmakers. But the figure to be spent from 2003 to 2007, only 4 years, will be 40 billion naira. Same number of people, probably the same type of cars, maybe in the difference in terms of model and all that, but it's 40 billion naira. That's how much Godswill Akpabio's group of men will be spending to buy operational vehicles for just 4 years. After 4 years, they'll buy another. Now, like I asked earlier, is the problem the amount of money being spent, or the kind of cars being bought, or what? Which one is it? Let's give some excuse. The regular excuse will be the price exchange rate has increased, the economy, so the price of cars have definitely skyrocketed, which is true. Now, people are asking, why are you guys so insensitive? Why are you going to be spending 40 billion naira for 470-something people to buy cars just for 4 years? Well, aside what we talked about, the economy, talk about exchange rate, talk about the dollar price, talk about the fact that the economy is tanking, and of course, price of goods are going up, and probably these cars are being imported, so import duty on all these cars, as it is today, 40 billion naira is what the lawmakers will spend to purchase cars. Now, I've not heard any opposition party come out to speak, aside from Julius Abure, who is the national chairman of the Labour Party. He came out to say that it should be rejected, but his party members in the National Assembly never came out to say anything. So they're going to be receiving their cars. Well, so let's look at it. How do we do this in such a way that we save money? Don't forget, I said earlier that the National Assembly is taking this from their own budget. Is this budget going to be per year or every 4 years? I believe it's per year. So for this year, they're taking money out to buy cars for themselves. Now, do we ask them to buy lower grades of cars, or do we ask them to buy cars that are a model lower? Or do they buy the current version, the current models of cars? It's a question a lot of people are going to ask. But, I'm very sure that a lot of lawmakers will not go for that part. A lot of people are not going to be interested in buying a car that is not 2023 model. They will probably want to buy something, You're telling them to buy something lesser, but everybody wants to drive the latest cars. However, a spokesman for the House of Representatives came out to say, by the name of Aki Rotimi, in a statement claimed the vehicle are utility vehicles. They are going to be utility vehicles. They are vehicles that are supposed to help the lawmakers drive to their constituencies. Come on, let's be very serious. You want to drive a 160 million naira car from the city center to your village. You can't even drive your Mercedes-Benz 2021 model to your village. You're claiming you want to drive. And I don't really know whether it's just one car, because most times the lawmakers are given a utility vehicle which is a Hilux or something, added to that car they are going to buy. Of course, it's going to be exotic cars plus probably Hilux vehicles. So maybe that will come into the 116 million. Now, according to what the spokesman for the House of Representatives claimed, that the National Assembly 2023 to 2027 said the vehicles will remain property of the National Assembly, and afterwards members who wish to buy them can do so. Is this what has happened in the past? Probably yes. At the time when the cars are used, the value will definitely drop, and the senators or House of Rep members will probably purchase these cars. It will not be in the open. It will not be an open bidding. They will be sold back to the senators and House of Representative members, which will also have the plate numbers. After the next 4 years, from 2027 upwards, you're probably going to be looking at another set of cars that will be bought. So the more you cry, the less sensitive anyone will be, because the senators of the future are watching this video right now. The House of Representatives of the future, they are watching me right now. And I'm very certain that if you get into the House, you will never ask that those cars will be removed. Neither will you say there's no need for cars. We cannot be comparing ourselves with the United States of America, where lawmakers use their personal cars, or there's one vehicle that comes to pick them from their houses and takes them to the National Assembly. No, that's not good. In fact, the Nigerian system does not support that. The next person waiting is already planning, I'm going to drive the 2030 brand of Toyota Hilux, Toyota Prado. So we'll keep spending these monies. The lawmakers will keep enjoying these luxuries. And for many of them, you don't even see them in their constituencies until the end of their tenure. So what is that vehicle supposed to be used for? Can you just buy Hilux vehicles for all of them, and it will not get up to 116 million? Can they have these vehicles moved to their constituencies? For those of them who have constituencies where it is being affected by insecurity, will they drive the 160 million naira cars to those constituencies? Will they drive a 2023 model into their constituency? Come on, let's be very serious. These cars will not leave Abuja. They will not leave Abuja for any reason. However, like I said, it's in the budget of the National Assembly. So the sooner everyone starts looking at the budget of the National Assembly, what is being expended, what is being used for constituency projects, what is being used for allowances, and the grade of cars that should be bought, or are there alternatives to helping lawmakers do their jobs, the better for us. Until then, the cycle will continue. Let's remind you, this is just for 2023 to 2027. After 2027, 28, 29, 2030, another set of cars will be bought. Then 2030, 31, 32, 33, another set of cars will be bought. And it will be the higher version of Toyota. So Toyota will keep making cars for African lawmakers, African politicians, and there's nothing you can do about it, because you watching me right now, you are a lawmaker in the future, and you're planning to buy a car in the year 2030. However that pans out, we'll watch and see how that goes. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube, like you see here. Enable notifications on all these platforms to enable to get latest updates on all our shows. I'm Sammy Ajufo. Thank you very much for joining us. And till next time we see, as usual, we ask you to stay safe.